Welcome back to Visa Verge News, where we bring you up-to-the-minute insights on immigration stories shaping lives and policies. Today, we're diving into a case of wrongful deportation that's raising significant questions about the U.S. immigration system. Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia, a Maryland resident originally from El Salvador, was wrongly deported back to his home country earlier this year despite legal protections meant to shield him. Joseph, there's so much to unpack here.
Absolutely, Charlotte. This case highlights some serious cracks in the enforcement process. To lay it out, Abrego Garcia is a 29-year-old who fled El Salvador in 2011 to escape gang violence. Over the years, he built a stable life in Maryland with his wife, a U.S. citizen, and their special needs child. In 2019, he secured a key legal protection, withholding of removal, which prevents deportation to a country where someone could face severe harm. Earlier this year, on March 15th, he was deported by mistake. ICE has admitted to an administrative error, yet the consequences are devastating.
And the timeline of events is startlingly quick. Just 3 days, he was detained in Baltimore on March 12th after a work shift, and then deported on March 15th. Joseph, what's striking is that ICE has acknowledged the error, but they still claim the deportation was carried out in good faith. How does that align with his legal status under withholding of removal?
It doesn't align at all. That's why this case is so troubling. Withholding of removal is a clear protection, and it should have prevented this exact situation. Despite his granted status, ICE says a final removal order on file, combined with unsubstantiated claims of gang ties, led to his deportation. His legal advocates have dismissed those allegations as baseless. The bottom line is, procedural safeguards failed him, and now he's in grave danger.
Let's talk about where he ended up. CECOT, a high-security prison in El Salvador known for its harsh conditions. This is a facility that holds accused gang members under extremely tough protocols. Joseph, for someone who fled gang violence, now being detained there seems like a tragic, almost ironic misstep.
It's a grim reality for Abrego Garcia. CECOT has been under fire from international human rights groups for overcrowding and inhumane treatment. Reports indicate that Abrego Garcia has been visibly distressed and physically diminished. For someone who legally sought protection from this kind of threat, his detention underscores just how severe the consequences of an administrative error can be. This isn't just a procedural lapse, it's a matter of life and death.
The legal battle to bring him back is now underway. His attorney, Simon Sandoval Moschenberg, has filed a federal lawsuit in Maryland, arguing that ICE violated U.S. law by deporting him despite court-ordered protections. The outcome of the case could be pivotal, especially given the broader implications for other individuals navigating precarious legal statuses. Joseph, what challenges does this lawsuit face?
One challenge is the legal landscape shaped by the Trump administration, re-elected in 2024. The administration holds that U.S. jurisdictions can't demand intervention for individuals already in foreign custody. This could complicate efforts to secure Abrego Garcia's release and return. While his legal team argues that ICE's mistake requires urgent diplomatic action, the administration's stance presents significant hurdles. The case is set to be heard in early April, so all eyes are on the Maryland court.
And beyond the courtroom, this case has ignited discussions about systemic failures in immigration enforcement. Critics argue that cases like this one highlight negligence in handling sensitive cases, eroding trust in protections like withholding of removal. The emotional toll is immense too. Abrego Garcia's wife and child are struggling without him, a painful reality for many families affected by wrongful deportations.
It's absolutely heartbreaking. Advocates are using this case as a cautionary tale, urging reforms to prevent such errors in the future. They're calling for stronger checks and balances to ensure no one else falls through the cracks. For Abrego Garcia and countless others like him, these mistakes aren't just bureaucratic, they're life-altering.
Exactly. As much as this case is about Abrego Garcia's personal fight for justice, it's also about shining a light on the broader vulnerabilities within the system. These legal protections exist for a reason, but cases like this show how fragile they can be in practice. Let's hope his legal team's efforts bring him back to Maryland soon.
Absolutely. For now, his case serves as a reminder of how high the stakes are for those relying on U.S. immigration protections. Advocates and policymakers need to address these failures before more lives are put at risk by errors that could have been avoided.
Well, that wraps up today's discussion on this critical case. It's both a sobering and urgent reminder of the importance of due process in immigration enforcement. Be sure to follow visaverge.com for updates on this case and all your immigration news. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.